half-time, and having looked at this 45 minutes, they deserve to be ahead, don't they, Owen?
Yeah, they've been the better team. They're exceptional. They're very good at playing direct balls, long balls. Ivan Toney's been a menace. We saw that against Manchester City. And again, he's been brilliant in that first half. Credit Brentford. You know, they're a well-coached side, and they deserve a lead so far.
And it feels like a familiar tale, as you kept saying, a familiar movie, as far as Spurs are concerned.
It's just the same movie we've seen all season, isn't it? They go behind, they play poorly. They need a rocket from the manager, which they normally get, and second halves, they normally turn it around. But, you know, I expected this. I expected to start from Brentford being the home side, Tottenham being the away side. I thought they'd struggle. I didn't see them struggling this badly. Harry Kane hasn't hardly touched the ball. But he will give them something. I think Antonio Conte at half-time, he will not be happy.
Well, let's have a look at the goal. Talk us through how it came about, Owen.
Well, I think the thing is as well, for Tottenham, they know Brentford are very good in long balls, playing direct balls, straight balls. And that one from Ben Mee straight into Ivan Toney there, great little flick to Mbeumo. And they get bodies in the box. You know, we saw that against Man City. Great ball from Mbeumo, a little bit of a deflection. And to be fair, it's a terrific goal. But I think this is when you see it here, you know, the two centre-backs, Dyer and Tanganga, 2v2 there. And there's just a bit of a miscommunication. Toney wins the flick there. But obviously, Don, you want to make the point of the two defensive midfield players that get run off.
Yeah, you look at Basuma, look at Hojbjerg, the Tottenham midfield players, and both Brentford's midfield players, who are going to be heavily involved in the action, both run past them. The shot comes in from Jensen, Janelt then finishes it. So from a midfielder's point of view, they were in very good positions. And you're running towards your own goal. You have a scan and you look around. And your first job is make sure you track your marker. Whoever it is, if they're running in the box, make sure you track them, you get goal side. That goal was preventable, but there was so much wrong with it.
So much wrong with that. And then, when you look further towards the end of that first half, should it have been two?
It should have been. It's a case of Ivan Toney just being too keen. Seconds and minutes before half-time, what he's got to make sure he's got to do is recognise where he's on the pitch seams. Stay in your own half and you're onside. Don't gamble. You can see that he's on the front foot. He's waiting for the midfield player to play the ball through. If he could just have a little bit more patience, that'd have been 2-0. That would have had Tottenham in a world of trouble.
The woodwork, but then two probably soft goals to concede. What's your assessment of that performance?
But, my assessment about the performance is positive, and if you ask me about the final result, and for sure I'm not happy, and it's the same for my players, because I think at the end we deserved much more in this game. Was really difficult to explain the first half, because we were 2-0 down, despite I think we showed a great desire, a great will, and we pressed well, and we created also chances to score with a post, and we finished the first half 2-0 down, and I think this type of result can kill everything, but not my players, not my team. I asked them to stay into the pitch with the head, with the heart, and to continue to do what we prepared. The second half, I think that we deserved much more that we reached at the end of the game. We scored one goal with Harry, and with another crossbar, and Alisson, I think maybe was the best player for him. He made good saves. A good game despite the difficult moment that we are facing, because I repeat, we are facing managing a situation very difficult. And today Perisic played as a striker with Harry. A positive thing to see Kulusevski again into the pitch, and we have to try to manage more well, because he continues to have a pain in his tendons. And then I hope now tomorrow to see in the training Richarlison. This could be also a good news for us.
A very good summary of that match. Fabio Paratici, your sporting director, came into the tunnel and he said it was a shame that the team had only been given 4 minutes extra time and that 100 mistakes were made by the officials. What do you think of the decisions that were made?
No, but but I continue in the same way, because you know that I don't want to comment the referee's decision. But for sure, with the referee, with MRBEAR, and Tottenham is not lucky, in this season. Yeah.
You talked about Kulusevski, who had an immediate impact as well, and we have seen Richarlison here with the team. He's walking quite well. Your assessment of Kulusevski, of Richarlison going into another busy week before this international break?
No, I think that now Kulusevski was a good news to see him to play for 20 minutes, and now tomorrow we'll see also Richarlison. I think could be available for the game for Wednesday. I think that we are trying to do the best also for the players. Don't take stupid risk, because it's not correct. And we did this with Deki, and now we are doing the same with Richarlison. For sure, for a team like Tottenham, and it's important when you have a season with the Premier League and Champions League. It's important to have the all players available, and because when you lose 2, 3, 4 players, you pay. You have to know this. You have to know this, and I hope in the future maybe with the club we try to understand this very well, and to reinforce the squad to give more quality to face this type of situation. But I repeat, and we did well, and because this process, in my opinion, has just started. I'm continuing to repeat always the same thing, but the club, I think, is going in the right direction.
Yeah, so the warning signs were there. I mean, there is a glimmer of hope as far as Spurs are concerned, because they tend to pick up points from losing positions. And actually, history tells us that they've picked up the most points from losing positions out of any other Premier League club. So are you expecting a different Spurs in the second half? Yeah,
completely, yeah. I mean, they're a very reactive side. They're very cautious. They play on the counter-attack. When the opposition scores, then they tend to change.
Isn't that a bad thing, though, Owen?
Yeah, that's where a lot of the criticism comes from the Tottenham fans, is the playing style. They're very functional. Tottenham side, the top of the pitch, they're brilliant. But I think it just shows also, we see with this starting 11 with Tanganga playing, they don't have the depth. They don't have the depth that the other top 4 teams have. So I think Conte will be furious with the fact that where they played in the first half, you can guarantee they'll play better in the second half.
Why are they like that, though?
It's a good question. I don't even think Antonio Conte knows why they're like that. But I mean, you know, this is, as I said before, the movie that we've seen before. When you go back to the Bournemouth game, 2-0 down, you can't react all of the time and win games. They did in that game. Then they went 2-0 behind against Liverpool. Liverpool were too good for them, got it back to 2-1 and lost. Then they were behind 3 times against Leeds and reacted and won the game. The danger for Tottenham now, when you sit at this point at half-time and you're losing 1-0, the danger is you're playing with fire, because if you lose the next goal in the game and you go 2 behind, there's not many times against Premier League sides, especially away from home, you're going to come back and take all 3 points. So the players have got to be focused. They've got to listen to the manager at half-time and make sure when the next goal goes in the game, it's going to be Tottenham's. If they go 2 behind, I don't see them coming back and winning.
So much talk about Harry Kane coming into this match. He's had the fewest touches in the game behind the goalkeeper, Fraser Forster. How do we get him more involved? How do they get him more involved in this game?
Well, they just need to be a little bit more positive. I think they've had 58% possession, so they'd have enough of the ball. But Brentford are a really good side defensively, and Harry needs to find a way to get in those pockets. Maybe he drops off a little bit deeper, let Son play a little bit higher. Kulusevski's been quiet, but I think they'll play significantly better in the second half. I think there's plenty of potential in the second half for Tottenham.
The midfield's got to do a little bit more, and it's difficult because it's 2 playing against Brentford's 3, so they're getting outnumbered in there. And when you're a midfield player and you're trying to take care of your marker, the trouble is when you play against a team like Brentford, they don't pass in between midfield. They go completely the other way. They bypass the midfield and go long. So it's a patience game, but they've got to step higher up the pitch.
OK, well, let's see how this second half unfolds, because
to win that. Was a draw a fair result today?
I'd say so, yeah. Even though we shouldn't have given a sniff to get back in the game, but I mean, they got the quality to get back in the game. Obviously, it's a great ball in the box, and Harry doing what he does best is putting it in the back of the net with a great header. And I think they got a bit lucky with the second one, but it shows their character, digging in deep, and I think in the end, probably a draw was a fair result.
Did it affect your mindset going into the second half, knowing just how good Tottenham have been at coming back from behind lately?
No, we know obviously they're up there for a reason. They're a great squad. They got quality throughout the team, and their manager keeps them at it as well. You can see we know what they're about, staying in games and digging deep, and they've done that today, and they dug out a point.
Another goal for you today, player of the match as well. Did those 6 weeks when you weren't in Qatar give you that extra motivation? Does it feel like it's time to let your football do the talking now?
Yeah, I believe so. Obviously, it was painful not getting picked in the squad, but that's life, you know. The more you dwell on it, the more it's going to hurt you. Just leave it behind you and focus on what's coming next and keep looking forward.
More tough games coming up, West Ham, Liverpool, but can this Brentford team beat all the top sides this season, in your opinion?
Yeah, I believe we've got more than enough quality in the squad, and the ones coming on to do the job, but we've got to focus on ourselves, and whoever we come up against, we back ourselves.
Ivan, I have another Christmas present for you. Congratulations.
Cheers,
Player of the match today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.